Want to master Marcel, the newest support hero? Stick around because I will show you everything you need to know from his unique mechanics to the best build you can have. Before that, we need to understand how his skill works to get the most out of it. Let's get started. His passive Platinum Snap. This is massive, so pay attention. First, Marcel's basic attacks scale off his hybrid defense, not attack damage, and they cannot crit. He also can't benefit from attack speed, and any extra HP you build gets converted into 3% hybrid defense. Basically, forget everything you know about normal hero scaling. Marcel is built different. His basic attacks deal 50 base physical damage plus additional scaling from both his physical defense and magic defense stats. The more tanky you build, the more damage your basic attacks do. It's a completely unique mechanic in Moba Legends. And here's where Clemar comes in. The camera automatically snaps photos of nearby enemy heroes, briefly immobilizing them and dealing true damage equal to 4% of their max HP. That's percentage-based true damage on a support hero. Against tanks, this is absolutely devastating. But wait, there's more. When Clemar snaps that photo, Marcel gains a shield equal to the damage dealt, and one nearby ally also gets the same shield. So if you hit a 10,000 HP tank, that's 400 true damage plus 400 shield for you and an ally. This effect has an 8-second cooldown per target, but every basic attack from Marcel reduces it by 0.5 seconds. So if you land 16 basic attacks, you can proc it again on the same enemy. Pro tip number 1. Your basic attacks aren't just for damage, they're cooldown reducers. Weave in autos constantly during fights to trigger Platinum Snap more frequently. Skill 1 is Framed Moment, and this is your primary setup tool. When you activate this, Clemar focuses on an area around Marcel. And this is important, it's around Marcel, not at a target location you choose. You are the center of this ability. After 2.5 seconds, Clemar completes the shot, dealing 460 base physical damage to all enemies within range and immobilizing them for 1 full second. The damage scales with physical attack, physical defense, and magic defense, which fits perfectly with Marcel's hybrid scaling nature. Now 2.5 seconds is a long wind-up time in a MOBA. That's enough time for enemies to react and walk out if they see it coming. You can see the visual indicator clearly, so enemies will know what's about to happen. That's why you don't use this skill in isolation. You need to combo it with your other abilities or your team's crowd control. The range is decent, covering a moderate area around you. Think of it like a zone you're creating. Anyone still in that zone after 2.5 seconds gets locked down. This ability shines in tight spaces like jungle corridors, around objectives, or when enemies are already CC'd and can't escape. Pro tip number 2, use this after your ultimate when enemies are already frozen or coordinate with your tank's initiation. The 1 second immobilize might seem short, but combined with your passive's brief immobilize, you're creating a CC chain that's very difficult to escape from. Skill 2, Tracking Shot, is what gives Marcel his agile support classification and makes him incredibly mobile across the map. When you activate this skill, Marcel enters tracking haste state for 3 seconds, gaining 15% movement speed as a base bonus. But here's where it gets interesting. That bonus increases to 75% when you're moving toward an enemy hero. That's basically a mini sprint ability that makes you one of the fastest supports in the game when chasing. You can reactivate this skill within the 3-second duration to dash in your target direction. The dash has decent range and it leaves a phantom behind at your starting location. Just a visual effect for style points. Now here's a super important interaction that opens up Marcel's advanced combos. If Framed Moment is currently active when you dash with Tracking Shot, Clemar stays at your original position to complete the photograph. Let me show you why this matters. You can activate Skill 1 to start charging Framed Moment, then immediately use Skill 2 to dash away to safety. Clemar stays behind and finishes the shot where you started. This means you can engage, set up crowd control, and reposition to safety almost simultaneously. You're not stuck in one place waiting for the 2.5 second wind-up to finish. This also works offensively. Dash in with Skill 2 after activating Skill 1, and Clemar zones out enemies from your original position while you pressure from a new angle. Now, let's talk about the ability that makes Marcel absolutely game-changing, his ultimate, Golden Hour. This is one of the most unique and powerful ultimates in Mobile Legends history. When you activate Golden Hour, you target an area on the map. After a short delay of about 0.5 seconds,
Clamar takes a wide-angle shot of that entire area for 3 full seconds. During these 3 seconds, several things happen simultaneously. Number 1. Marcel enters tracking haste state within the area, gaining that 75% movement speed boost we talked about earlier. Number 2. All other units in the area are put into stasis. They cannot move, they cannot attack, they cannot use skills, they cannot use battle spells. They are completely frozen in time. Number 3. Those frozen enemies are immune to damage from everyone except Marcel. Only you can damage them during golden hour. Let me repeat that because it's absolutely insane. You freeze an entire area for 3 seconds, potentially catching all 5 enemies, and only you can damage them. Your teammates' attacks and skills will do 0 damage to frozen targets. But there's even more. Any ranged basic attacks or projectiles that are already in the air when golden hour activates also get frozen. When the effect ends, those projectiles continue, but deal only 50% of their original damage. And as if that wasn't enough, golden hour resets the cooldown of platinum snap for all enemies in the area. So the moment you freeze them, you can immediately proc your passive on everyone, dealing true damage and gaining shields. The ultimate has a moderate-sized area, not as big as Farsa's ultimate, but large enough to catch multiple enemies in a team fight. The targeting works like Aurora's ultimate. You click where you want it, there's the short delay, and then it activates. Now, let's talk about the counterplay and limitations because nothing is perfect. The short delay before activation means good players can dash or blink out if they react fast enough. Heroes with built-in mobility like Ling, Fanny, or 1-1 can potentially escape. Also, Purify Battle Spell doesn't work because they're in stasis, but they can use mobility skills before it activates. The fact that your teammates can't damage frozen enemies is both a strength and a weakness. In coordinated play, this is amazing. Your team knows to wait. In solo queue, you might freeze enemies right as your mage is ulting, wasting their cooldowns. Communication is key. Pro tip number 4, aim where enemies will be, not where they are. Predict their movement, especially if they're chasing your teammates or running toward an objective. And always communicate with your team before using this in team fights. A quick wait for my ult in chat can prevent coordination disasters. Now that we understand each skill individually, let's talk about how they work together because Marcel's kit has incredible synergy. Your standard full combo for maximum lockdown is Ultimate first to freeze priority targets, Basic attack immediately to proc Platinum Snap on everyone, activate skill 1 right away, then use skill 2 to either stick to targets or escape depending on the situation. Why this order? Your ultimate gives you 3 seconds of free damage time. You want skill 1 charging during those 3 seconds so that the moment your ultimate ends, enemies get immobilized again by framed moment. That's potentially 4 seconds of complete lockdown when executed perfectly. For roaming and ganking, your approach is different. Use skill 2 first to gap close with that 75% movement speed boost, basic attack to proc your passive, then skill 1 for the follow-up CC. This works great in side lane ganks because you're not wasting your ultimate on just 1 or 2 targets.
This is the Marcel's best build, which gives high durability along with his shield output. This is an all-rounder build and you can use in every match.
And that's the complete skill breakdown for Marcel, the Soul Photographer. This hero brings a completely new playstyle to Mobile Legends with his Stasis Ultimate and Hybrid Defense scaling. If this skill introduction helped you understand Marcel's kit better, make sure to hit that like button. I'll be making follow-up videos covering his best builds, advanced combos, and matchup guides, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss those. What do you think about Marcel's kit? Is that ultimate too powerful, or is the coordination requirement enough of a drawback? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, Legends. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.